Namaskar viewers and listeners of the Great Game Reloaded. I am Tilak Devasher. For the first time ever, a former ISI chief, a man once thought to be the most powerful general in Pakistan after the army chief, has been court-martialed, convicted and sentenced to 14 years rigorous imprisonment. Lieutenant General retired Faiz Hameed, the Spymaster who shaped Pakistan's politics from behind the shadows. The man who built the hybrid regime with Imran Khan, a general who at one point believed he would be the next Chief of Army Staff. Today, he sits disgraced, convicted on 4 charges. This is not merely a legal event, but a political moment, an institutional message and a revealing window into the workings of the Pakistan Army. The question is not whether Faiz Hameed is guilty. The real question is what his conviction represents. Because this is not about corruption or even about the misuse of power. This is about the Pakistan Army reasserting its dominance. This is about Asim Munir consolidating power. And this is about teaching Pakistan's politicians a lesson. Play with the army and the army will always make the final move. Let's break this down. For nearly 2 decades, Faiz served at the heart of Pakistan's intelligence apparatus. He was not just another general. He was the operator, the man who knew every political player, every pressure point, every lever of power. His real ascent began in 2019 when he was appointed DGISI. From that point onward, his fingerprints were visible on virtually every major political development in Pakistan. Faiz became the principal architect of political engineering and coercive tactics used to maintain parliamentary arithmetic. He played a key role in managing alliances to keep the PTI coalition alive, enforcing loyalty amongst legislators, containing judicial activism, shaping media narratives, micromanaging provincial politics, and shaping elections. Many in Islamabad openly described him as the de facto power center. Then came the Kabul moment. In 2021, as the Taliban took power, Faiz arrived in Kabul wearing a smile. Pakistan media hailed him as the architect of the Taliban government formation. Inside GHQ, alarm bells went off. No intelligence chief had ever projected himself so publicly, so politically. And then came the ultimate red line. Faiz wanted to become the next army chief. His retirement did not end the threat he posed. His political connections, intelligence knowledge, and popularity amongst certain officers made him a potential rallying point for anti-Munir factions. His conviction must be understood against this backdrop. If Pakistan is a political battlefield, its fiercest wars are fought not in Islamabad but in Rawalpindi, inside the general headquarters. The biggest of these fights was between Army Chief Asim Munir and Faiz Hameed. The rivalry began years earlier when they were posted in Karachi in the MI and the ISI respectively. It intensified when Asim Munir was removed as DG ISI after presenting uncomfortable findings to the Prime Minister Imran Khan about his household. Imran Khan had him sacked and he was replaced by none other than Faiz Hameed. For Munir, this was not just a slight, it was humiliation. Fast forward to 2022. Army Chief Bajwa retires. Both Faiz and Munir are in contention for becoming chief. By this time, Imran Khan is no longer Prime Minister. He has been replaced by a coalition led by Shehbaz Sharif. Munir wins the race. Faiz loses everything. He was arrested and tried in a Field General Court Martial or FGCM. The charges levelled against him were: Charge 1. Engaging in political activities. Translation: he played politics without permission. According to the army, Faiz interfered in politics, influenced parties, shaped events around May 9, and tried to push PTI's agenda even after retiring. This charge is comical. An ISI chief is accused of engaging in politics in Pakistan? That's like accusing a fish of swimming. Pakistan's army has been interfering in politics since 1958. Every election, every coalition, every government has involved military engineering. So why punish Faiz? Because he was playing politics for Imran Khan, not for the institution. Because he was building influence outside the chain of command. Because he was seen as someone who could one day challenge Munir's supremacy. So the message is, political interference is allowed, but only when the army chief authorizes it. Charge 2. Violating the Official Secrets Act. Translation: he knew too much. This charge is deliberately vague. It states that Faiz handled or shared classified information in a way that harmed national interests. Which information? With whom? How did he harm the state? No details, no transparency, no evidence. Because the purpose is not legal clarity, it is institutional intimidation. Faiz had access to covert operations, foreign intelligence agreements, political manipulation, military factional divides, details of high-level corruption. If he talked, there would be hell to pay. So, he was charged with secrecy violations. In Pakistan, that means you know too much and we need to shut you up. Charge 3. Misuse of authority and government resources. Translation: you used army power for yourself. The famous Top City case. ISI brigadiers raiding housing societies. Gold and cash allegedly seized. Residents threatened. Payments demanded. Was this corruption? Possibly. Was this abuse of authority? Of course. Was it unusual? Not really. But the army needed something tangible, a charge the public could understand, a charge the courts could rubber stamp. Top City is not the biggest corruption scandal in Pakistan's military history. It is simply the most convenient. Charge 4. Causing wrongful loss to individuals. Translation: someone complained and we needed a legal hook. This is the charge that makes the military look responsible. Wrongful loss, victim harm, coercion. This is how you turn an internal purge into a morality play. But again, the crime is not the point. The punishment is. So why did the army really prosecute him? Let's be blunt. Faiz Hameed was not prosecuted for corruption. He was prosecuted for ambition. Many generals implicated in land scandals, defense housing authority scams, welfare trust irregularities, or procurement anomalies continue to enjoy immunity. Faiz was singled out not because of evidence, but because of politics. This was less about legality and more about institutional discipline. Furthermore, the narrative being pushed that Faiz was deeply corrupt serves two purposes. One, to delegitimize him within the army rank and file, many of whom admired his assertiveness. Two, to distance the military institution from his political engineering, conveniently pinning the blame on an individual rather than systemic behavior. In effect, the army is rewriting history. What was once presented as institutional policy is now being blamed on a rogue general. Faiz broke three unwritten rules of the Pakistan Army. Rule 1. Never build your own political constituency. Faiz broke this rule by aligning with the PTI. That made him dangerous. Rule 2. Never overshadow the army chief. Faiz became a celebrity spymaster, something the institution cannot tolerate. Rule 3. Never try to become Chief of the Army Staff or COAS through political support. When Imran Khan pushed for Faiz as the next army chief, GHQ pushed back fiercely. That sealed Faiz's fate. The one rule written in stone is that the army can have favourite politicians, but politicians cannot have favourite generals. Ever. Faiz broke that cardinal rule. The implications for Asim Munir. For Asim Munir, the Faiz conviction achieves three things. It removes the only man who could challenge him. It sends a message to all serving officers, stay in line. He rewrites the history of Pakistan's hybrid regime. Implications for the army. 1. Internal rifts have been exposed. This trial tells the world that generals fight each other, factions exist, power is contested, loyalty is conditional. For an institution obsessed with unity, this is embarrassing. 2. The army is re-centralizing political control. Faiz symbolized political freelancing. Munir's message? No more. Political engineering is not ending. It is repudiating unauthorized or personalized political interference. Political manipulation remains the army's prerogative, but only through officially sanctioned channels, that is, under the Chief of Army Staff's exclusive control. And 3. The transition from Bajwa era to Munir era is now complete. Faiz was the last prominent symbol of the Bajwa PTI hybrid model. His removal closes that chapter. The implication for politicians. Now let's talk about Pakistani civilians, the spectators in a game they think they are playing. 1. The message to PTI. It delegitimizes PTI's rise. The army can now portray PTI's success as the product of Faiz's manipulation, not Imran Khan's popularity. It tells the PTI, do not expect a comeback. Removing Faiz prevents any revival of military sympathy for the PTI. PTI's future becomes more uncertain. Without military allies, PTI faces legal pressure, administrative obstacles, judicial challenges, political isolation. It sends a message to PTI supporters within the bureaucracy. Loyalty to PTI has consequences. If a powerful general can be imprisoned, what chance do PTI-aligned army officers, bureaucrats, media professionals have? 2. The message to the PMLN and the PPP. Do not use the army to promote your favourite general. Do not try to influence the Chief of Army Staff appointment. Do not attempt to co-opt intelligence officers for political benefit. You will lose every single time. 3. Impact on Pakistan's politics and future stability. The conviction has several implications. Civil-military relations remain unchanged. Despite the drama, nothing structurally significant has changed. The army remains dominant. Civilian leaders remain subordinate. Accountability remains selective. Institutions remain dependent on military direction. Faiz's conviction reshapes personalities, not structures. Internal factionalism in the army has been contained for now. Munir has consolidated power. Counter-factions have been silenced. Potential challenges have been neutralized. But this stability is temporary. Every military chief eventually faces internal dissent. The real significance of this conviction is not about the guilt of one general. It is about the enduring power of the Pakistan Army to police its own ranks, regulate its political environment, and rewrite its role in the state, even when doing so exposes the very contradictions it seeks to conceal. So Faiz's story is not about one man. It is about an institution protecting its authority. Faiz Hameed rose too fast, became too visible, and played politics too openly. He wanted the top job and he miscalculated the cost of a mission. For Asim Munir, this conviction is a consolidation of power. For the army, it is a cleansing ritual. For Pakistani politicians, it is a warning. For the PTI, it is another wound. And for Pakistan's people, it is just another reminder that their country is run not by elected leaders but by generals deciding which other generals must fall. This is the real verdict, not from a military court but from Pakistan's political reality. This is a developing story. The army's statement that, and I quote, involvement of the convict in fomenting vested political agitation and instability in cohorts with political elements, read 9th May, and in certain other matters is separately being dealt with, unquote, is ominous and indicative that more is to follow. Analysts suspect that this could be linked to Imran Khan and both could be tried for treason. As and when details are known, I will be back with another episode on this issue. Do keep viewing. I am Tilak Devasher. Thank you for watching. Do like, share and comment. Namaskar and Jai Hind.